Yo, what's good, everybody? This is B. Lee and this is Ralph. We are starting our new sports analyst show, so we'll give you guys breakdowns day by day of all other NBA topics. So, the first topic we're going to talk about today is the Ja Morant situation. So, Ralph, just thinking about what's going on. Like we said, we've been hearing 50 game suspension. So, what do you actually think is going to happen with Ja Morant?
Well, right now, what I think is that, of course, we know about the 2 game suspension, but I feel like after that 2 game suspension, he's probably going to be under investigation, and I feel like the
Hmm.
organization is probably going to get involved, probably hold him back a couple of games, to where they're going to do their own internal investigation, and we'll see from there. Yeah, I know they also reported that he's definitely fined. That's what I saw as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah. So what do you feel like? How serious do you think it's gonna get?
Hmm. Well, and when I think about this, I think about the Gilbert Arenas situation. I
Hmm.
mean, it's different because Gilbert Arenas, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that was inside the arena. I mean, in a locker room or something that it happened.
Yeah, that was a little
Yeah,
bit more serious, I think.
yeah. And I think
Yeah.
what it is because it's a minor involved. I think that's the seriousness of it, and
Well,
that's
it's just a lot of things that's involved. That's the problem.
yeah,
It's multiple things. Like they were saying, hitting the kid, putting out a gun on him, going to the mall with nine deep, clubbing with the gun. Like it's multiple things. I hope it's not as serious as Gilbert Arenas because they were actually about to throw down. I know
hmm
Gil said he didn't think it was possible, but as we learned more and more about it, it was most likely possible that something serious was about to happen. So
right,
hopefully it's not that serious because he didn't really do nothing too bad to be suspended for the whole year. It was kind of stupid. He's not really surrounding himself with the right people. And in his case, he just thinks he's having fun.
yeah.
He's just think he's having fun.
And it's also bad for the branding of the NBA too. So that can take into consideration too when
Yeah, for
you're
his
looking at something like
endorsements,
this. Oh yeah,
his
I'm
endorsements,
surprised
man.
Nike. I'm surprised Nike has not even did what they did with Kyrie.
I'm pretty sure they are thinking about it. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure they thinking about it because what's really going on is he's not marketing himself appropriately for them.
Fact.
Like right after the game, he's partying 5 in the morning, flashing guns. It's cool when you're doing that with your boys, but when you post it online for everyone to see,
Yeah.
like that's the problem right there. That's the big problem. Like you just cannot do that when you well, he's gonna be worth like 300 million after this year. Like he's gonna get that 200 million contract plus his Nike deals and all the endorsements he have. Like it's just not
Exactly.
smart. It's just not smart for him to do what he's doing at the moment.
And also that's bad for his branding in itself too. It's like yeah, you have these, say, for instance, nothing comes of it from his endorsement deal. What about the future endorsement deals the
Yeah.
potential chance he has? Nobody's going to want to take on that risk.
Yeah. I know they were saying it's like related to how AI was, but it's a different time. It's a different
Hmm.
time. Plus,
Yep.
AI wasn't flashing no like guns, just like Ja was doing. So I know everyone has a like right to like bear arms, but what he was doing was not appropriate for what he's trying to accomplish in the NBA. He's a superstar. He's one of the best players in the league.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how do you feel that it's gonna like take place with Memphis? I know we talked about this yesterday, how they was actually better without Ja for
Right.
some reason last year, but I think it's a little bit different in the playoffs. How you feel how they're gonna move forward without Ja if he
I,
miss extended period of time?
I agree. Like playoff times, it's 0-0 after that. There's no records no more.
Mhm.
So everybody step up their game. And granted, yes, we talked about it yesterday to where they were good in the season. Now they
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
missing.
different. Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right. Playoff
it's
season is different.
exactly. And I believe in the past, like the past couple of times when they didn't have John Morant, it really showed that they needed him in that playoffs.
Yeah. So Yeah, because last year he got hurt. What I think it was Poole who like dived into his leg and he was out for the rest of the series. And
Yeah,
they didn't recover, even though they was good in the regular season, like you said, but in the postseason it's just a different beast. They needed Ja in that postseason, and who knows what would happen if Ja would have played because it was a good series. It was a close series,
yeah.
and
They held their
Memphis
own,
was good last year. Yeah, Memphis was good last year. So yeah,
but
so let's hope that it's not too serious for Ja. I know they're talking about he's going to receive counseling. I don't know how that's going to help him in his situation. Growing up in a certain lifestyle, counseling is not going to really help you too much at the
right,
moment. And like I said, he hasn't did something, too or egregious that, he just can't stop doing what he's doing. He could easily just stop doing what he's doing. Get back better
right.
people around him. His father, hopefully, he's a big support for him. He's always there at the game. So I'm
Hmm.
just not sure about the like dynamics with, his family and his friends because it seems like he's being a little bit careless at the moment.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%.
All right, so let's move on to the next topic. The Suns been looking good with Durant and Booker. Those two, I think what they played two games together, they look pretty unstoppable. Those two, even though
This is the
last game
third.
was close. This is the third game they play
Yeah.
together. Yeah,
Hmm.
but yeah, those it's like almost like Clay, not Clay, Steph and KD, but they don't have a Clay to like help space the floor. But those two guys are really good shooters. Booker been, a good shooter ever since, I heard of him in college. So he's always been a good shooter.
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant is this weapon that you can't really defend. You just hope that he's off. So
Right.
just looking at, the like landscape, how do you feel about the Suns being the title favorite?
Oh, I mean, I feel like the improvement that they need is their
Mhm.
bench. If their bench could, if they could get one or the other to Cameron Payne or T.J. Warren or somebody off that bench that could give them 15, I feel like they can easily make that push to the title and win it all. My observation, and I feel like it all depends on their rotations as well because
Mhm.
they're gonna need one or the other playing with that bench. Those two gonna have to rotate, and at the end of the game, of course, Booker and KD can play together, but they're gonna have to think about that in order for them to be successful and win a championship.
So how do you feel about, Booker and KD versus Kyrie and KD? Which one do you think is a better fit?
Hmm. I feel like actually Booker and KD because both of them can play off ball to where
Mhm.
Kyrie he can play it off ball, but he's
He's a
even
little bit
more
ball
effective.
dominant.
Yeah, he's more ball dominant than Booker, but Booker is also effective coming off ball. So I think they can work hand in hand better to where
Mhm.
you have a third person within Chris Paul. Granted, he's not the Chris Paul we know,
Yeah, he's
but
definitely
at
not the
the
Chris Paul we know.
but if you really look at his numbers, it's only showing in the scoring department. Everything else is still Chris Paul. His assists is what 9 assists. He's still averaging around
It's
two
like 12 and
steals.
8, something like that. Like he's
Get
still like being productive. Like he's not like trash or anything. He's still being productive. What's up?
Yeah.
What's
What's
up,
good,
Johnny?
What's
fellas?
So
going on, Johnny?
What's good, fellas?
so
What's good,
right,
man?
yeah,
Not much,
yeah.
man.
So right now we're talking about the Suns if they're the title favorites at the moment. But we're talking about the fit between Booker and KD versus Kyrie and KD. So which one do you think is a better fit?
Um, because of Chris Paul Booker. I mean,
It's Chris
that's
Paul
really the
Booker.
truth. Yeah, I mean Booker because they got somebody who's going to get them the ball when they, you know what I'm saying? Like they have an actual point guard that can get them the ball, know who's hot, who's not hot. They didn't have that in Brooklyn. They had Harden and Ben Simmons. Like they didn't have nobody. So it was a lot of ISO, a lot of ISO. If you saw the game yesterday when they needed a shot, they ran that good play for him to get that mid range, and Booker's going to get his shot because of CP3. So I think he's definitely going. CP3's the catalyst to the whole thing, man. They're going to be great with him. They're going to be hard to stop, man. Offensively, hard to stop.
Yeah, yeah. Ralph was saying that too. Like Booker may be a better fit because of how Booker can actually work off the ball, other than Kyrie Irving just ball dominant.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's kind of a toss up. Just if you looking at those two, because Booker could go off and get you 50. Kyrie could go off and get you 50. But team wise, the Suns are just more equipped for Kevin Durant to make a long playoff run, because we saw last year how the Celtics just double team and triple team Kyrie and KD, and they really didn't do much, but they didn't have anybody else. So since Booker is really a really good shooter as well, it's going to be kind of hard to double team him. I mean, double team KD and just leave Booker open, because he's good at the mid range, he's good at the three ball, and then Chris Paul, he makes shots too. So in all, the Suns is definitely a better team, but the matchup between them is kind of hard. To me, it's like even. It's like even, because if you had Kyrie and KD with Chris Paul, you might get the same, production.
I can see
You
that.
might get the same production.
Yeah,
But
because
just in general, yeah, the Suns are a better team.
we all know that Kyrie can play off ball as well. But when during that time with Brooklyn, he had to be the ball handler and be
Yeah, that
effective
was a
on the
lot that
offensive
time.
side.
Yeah.
But if you threw Chris Paul in there, Kyrie wouldn't have those responsibilities of handling the ball, and he could focus on scoring. So I see where you're going with that. And I do want to say this about the Suns, though. It's like, in the past couple of years, they were criticizing Booker, like not showing up in the playoffs the way he should. It's because he was always getting double teamed and they were putting
Hmm.
pressure on him. Now you can't do that because you have KD there. And now if it's like, oh, if you want to do that, you just about to leave a sniper over there in the mid range and the 3-point line. You don't want to do that. So that's why it's going to be very hard to stop that two-headed monster over there in the Suns.
Yeah.
So who you think in the West could actually stop the Suns at the moment?
You want to go first, Johnny?
Well, Kendrick Perkins says he thinks Golden State could beat the Suns in the 7-game series. He also said he thinks Memphis could do it too, even without Ja Morant. But he probably was just saying that just to say that. Man, I don't know, man. They look tough, man. Ayton had got like 14, 15 rebounds yesterday, 16 rebounds. They still have a solid team. They got a good coach. I would say they're the favorites, man. I don't see nobody really beating them if they're healthy. And even like I said, even if the Lakers are healthy, it would have to take a miracle Stephen Curry or LeBron to beat that team. To be honest with you, I don't see nobody else doing it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I would say Denver, because they're actually playing the best. Like people, I know they're like the number one team in the West, but they really underestimate how good Denver is with Murray. Like Murray doesn't get the credit he needs, but man, that dude is so good.
Yeah.
Murray is so good when he's healthy, and I know the Suns got a lot of firepower, but they got Aaron Gordon. Defensively, Jokic is impossible to stop,
Yeah.
and he sees the floor so well. He sees the floor so well. And then when you need a basket, it's Murray, and the Suns don't have that type of defense to actually limit them. That's the problem. They don't have that type of defense to limit them.
That's true. I would agree there. I would agree. Denver, but that like Ralph was saying about the playoffs, it is different in the playoffs. Teams, the pace slows down. A lot happens in the playoffs. It's definitely a different game when you get into the playoffs.
You need teams with that experience.
Yeah, Denver has the experience, right? They've been to a Western Conference Finals before, right? They were 2020.
They came back from 3-1 down. So
yeah, they have
so
a chance.
they're a
They
different
have a
beast.
chance.
They're a different beast.
Yeah, and I would give you that. They do have a chance as well, but Jokic would have to be Jokic too, though. It would have to be I don't think it's Jamal Murray per se. It would have to be Jokic, though. Jokic would have to.
Well, it's going to have to be both of them. Murray's going to have to play like he did in the bubble for them to have a chance.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to play like he did in the
Now,
bubble.
now my realistic choice is of course Denver. But if I'm gonna go up for like if I'm gonna say matchup wise, I think the Clippers matchup wise because you got two defensive players within Kawhi and Paul George to where they can put more pressure onto KD and
How
Booker.
healthy are they gonna be?
That's that's
That's the
that's that's a
problem.
big if. I said if it's matchup, but the realistic answer I would have to say the Nuggets. And I want to say go to state because for me, I never count out the defending champions until somebody knock them off. That's that's the thing about them, and like I feel like Golden State is going to be very. If they're healthy, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be dangerous, and they can actually match up with them as well. Not
Them-
saying that those two-headed monsters going to get stopped, but they'll be able to put some pressure onto them to where they can make it a series.
I think Golden State's missing Wiggins. I think Wiggins being gone this whole year has really shown that they're not the same team from last year. They really Poole is not Wiggins. Poole is good offensively, but Wiggins was better on the defensive side. I don't think they're the same team as last year. I think they're a little different.
For me, last year, I didn't really think they were the best team in the league. They were the most healthiest team in the league, and Boston was actually better than them. They was winning like what? It was like every like last 2 minutes, Boston was up,
Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
they just couldn't close the deal.
It was
So
experience.
yeah, I said I don't really. I know Golden State is really good, but I just don't think they're better than the Suns, even if both are healthy. I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah. The
You
West
know,
is
you know,
is up in the air, man. The West is crazy.
yeah. I'm always going with Kevin Durant, and he always losing. But I'm gonna have to if he lose this year, I'm gonna have to jump off the Kevin Durant bandwagon. This would be like what 4 years in a row. I picked him to do something and he didn't do it 3 years in a row. But
He's got 3 years. He's got 3 years in Phoenix to do something.
yeah,
Before his
the
contract
good
is up.
thing is Booker's young. They just gonna have to see how Chris Paul goes, or get another like pure point guard there. I don't think they like need another scoring guard like somebody like Kyrie Irving. They need like a pure point guard to run that offense.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And has Bones haven't been playing, has he?
I don't think so. I
Who?
haven't heard much about him.
Bones
Who's Bones? Who's that?
came from Denver.
Yeah,
He was the
I
starting
haven't
point
heard.
guard until Murray came back.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about him for a while.
You got me lost on that. Bones, be like Bones, like your bone, like
Yeah,
Bones. That was his name. That's his name.
yeah. Bones, what Hallenberg, something like that. Yeah, when the season started, he was starting at the point guard until Jamal Murray came back. He was actually doing very well too.
Yeah.
He's doing real good.
Okay.
That's what they got in that trade to come to. Oh, I'm tripping. Bones plays for the Clippers.
That's the Clippers, ain't it?
Yeah, I just
Yeah, that's
went
what
to
Yeah,
another direction. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the Clippers. I was thinking about the Clippers. I'm sorry about that.
You have me a little bit confused. All right, so just thinking about the Clippers. Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic.
Well,
What do you guys think about Russ continuing to start for the Clippers? You know how he came in and they just gave him the control of the team.
I think they need to take the playbook out of the Lakers and put him on the bench and play him with that second unit. And let's get back to Bones. What I was saying last time. I feel like, if he is available, go ahead and start him because, we seen him as a starter with Denver and he was playing very well to where Denver did move up to that first place, you know. So
Think they might
that
be trying to cater towards Russ. What you think?
I think they're trying to remember they got John Wall. Remember that's what John Wall was supposed to be for, and John Wall didn't pan out. I think they panicked. I really think they panicked, and it was like, well, let's just get Russell Westbrook, and he can do what John Wall was supposed to do. And I don't think it works that easy because teams don't really worry about Westbrook shooting. They really let Westbrook do whatever he wants to do on the basketball court, and it's not helping them. At least for now,
You
it's not.
know, You know what doesn't make any sense is that they could have just I guess it saved them a ton of money, but they could have just swapped out um Wall for Russ.
I guess didn't they buy out Wall? Or no,
No,
they
they
sent them. They
traded.
sent
He
them
was in a
back.
No,
They went
trade.
back.
they
He went
trade
back
him.
to.
They
He
They
traded
went
him.
back to
traded him.
Houston. To
I
Houston.
don't. Did he get bought out yet? I don't know if he got bought
I
out
don't
yet.
know. I haven't heard anything. I know he don't want to be there. He didn't want to be there last time. So
It's
he
weird.
actually got bought out last year, I believe.
Hmm.
Wow.
He got bought out, and then he signed the contract with the Clippers, and the Clippers traded him back to Houston after he done spoke all that junk about Houston. I
I
was like, oh
know.
my gosh,
He
that,
was dogging
that
him
had
out a
to
little
be
bit.
awkward. So
They probably didn't even let him walk through the front door.
I mean, I feel like with his career, man, like if you notice when he got to Houston with that trade, he was actually putting up real good numbers. He was averaging 20 assists.
The games that I saw him play, even with the Clippers, he was playing decent.
Hmm.
Like he wasn't trying to do too much. Like
I think he has an injury issue though. I think again, it's similar to what happened to Arenas and Derrick Rose is that whatever injury he has, they can have spurts, but it doesn't last long enough to when that they need a week off, 2 weeks off, because it's
yeah,
just it's just that again it is a grueling game, but I think that's the idea with Westbrook. I think they were just like, we can just add him. It'll work perfect. Kawhi's okay with it. Paul George okay with it. Tyronn Lue's a confident coach. He think he can do something with it, and they made that run, especially after what's it called, right after KD goes to the Suns, and then these guys, the Mavs,
mhm.
get Kyrie. You got to do something. You got to do something.
I
I,
think
I,
Russ was the right pickup though.
Who else is
yeah,
there?
I really feel like he should be on the bench because if you notice, like with the Lakers, he was actually being very productive with that second unit. And I feel like the Clippers should take that same playbook and put him on the bench now. What point guard are you going to start? We don't know. I mean, if Bones is
Well,
available, that would be a good person to start.
Go look up
they
these
were
bones.
doing good with Terrence Mann and
Hmm.
Gordon playing the point before Russ got the starting job. I think what they lost five straight. Did they lose or win last game?
They lost. They
They
lost.
lost
They
last night
lost.
again. They played last night, right?
Oh, last night?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know about
Yeah,
last
no,
I,
they
night,
I
they
but
played
think
last
they
night.
might have won.
I think they won last night. I think
I think they
they
might have
played late
won.
last night, if I'm correct. They played late last night. So let me double check because I got Zubac on my fantasy team. Yeah, they
Yeah.
won last night. They beat Memphis
yeah,
135, 129.
yeah.
Okay.
I did look at the standings of that. I was too
Yeah.
busy watching
So
my Knicks.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
it's kind of it's kind of
Knicks.
iffy for me if they should continue to let Russ start. The thing is, if you put him on the bench and he doesn't play what he wants to play, it's gonna be a problem. And
Yeah,
now
you're gonna
you
lose
already
them.
created this monster by letting him start. You didn't set no boundaries for him by just setting here. You the start point guard.
I can see that.
Who
But
is this Bones guy you guys are talking about? Okay, Bones Highland. There his okay,
yeah,
Bones
Bones
Highland.
Highland, yeah.
That's his name.
Bo-
Okay,
yeah, Bones
UCLA.
Highland was balling for Denver, man.
Yeah, he's a second year. It's a second year.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
He was playing good at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think Russell Westbrook goes to the bench and messes it up for them. He's not going to. Yeah, he's not gonna like that. He's not gonna like that.
Yeah, I don't
And
know what they can like. It's like they created this monster now that you put him on a bench, he's gonna do what he did with the Lakers, get pissed off.
yeah,
Because
but
it's
see,
it,
he could get pissed off, but if he's producing off the bench, you can't get to. I mean, you're happy for as a coach in the organization, and like if you look at him coming off the bench, you got Norman Powell, which he's a 3-point shooter. You got Eric Gordon's not even starting, if I'm served correctly. He's
no,
coming off
he's
the
not
bench
starting
as
no more.
well.
Yeah, he's
So
coming
you
off the bench.
have two good shooters right there that could complement your game coming off the bench, and then you got a big man in Mason Plumlee coming off the bench as well. So it's like that would fit his style on the second
Mhm.
unit compared to any other second unit. You would kill.
Yeah,
That would really work.
they got Reggie Jackson. I mean, he's
No,
always
they
been.
they
No, no,
um
no. They
they
traded
traded
him
him.
to
They traded
Charlotte,
Oh,
him.
he's
and
Yeah,
traded
he
they
him.
got
traded
bought
Oh,
out.
Reggie.
He was the first one to get bought out once he got traded.
oh, they messed up with that one. He was actually good for them. I thought
I
he
Well,
pitched
they
mean,
well.
I don't know why they blew up the team like this. They were actually playing good. I
Yeah,
I, I know they probably needed to get rid of Wall, but I think they should have just kept the squad.
yeah. I mean, I didn't know they got
They
rid of
didn't
Matthew
pick up
Stafford.
anybody that they didn't trade anybody that's playing really. Russ was picked up off the buyout market.
hmm yeah,
They
but
should have just stayed
come to
pat.
think about, yeah, you're right because John Wall really wasn't getting that many minutes anyway. He was getting like 10, 15 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, that
But
kid.
like
But he
their
could
main
actually knock
rotator,
down shots if he is in the game. At least he could knock down shots. You see how they guard Russ? They're
yeah,
not even
that's
attempted
true.
to guard him.
That's
That
true.
kid Bones Highland only played 5 games with them, so I guess they don't really trust him that well.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, especially with Russ getting
yeah,
majority of the minutes. He's not really getting the chance to show he could play, which I'm pretty sure he would probably fit better than Russ.
yeah, he would. And plus, like he wanted to leave Denver so he can get more minutes. He's with the
Yeah.
Clippers now. They can actually utilize him, and they really not utilizing him. So I don't know.
Yeah, 14
Yeah.
minutes a game so far with them. That's what he's getting.
Yeah,
14 minutes.
because with
Shoot,
Denver, what he was getting like 20.
he's shooting 30%, 29.7% from the field.
Yeah.
This is with the Clippers. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
with Denver, what he was doing better, right? Much better,
Um, I would have to check his stats here. Let me see what he was doing with Denver.
I
It's the first
believe.
time
He
I've ever heard of
was.
him. I don't even know. I didn't know who this
Yeah.
kid was.
Yeah.
Oh, he.
It was a small sample size, but he was playing good in Denver.
Mhm.
Like I said,
Well,
they
he was
should have.
averaging 12 and 3 assists
Russell should have came to
in 19
Miami.
minutes.
Russell should have came to Miami. I think that would have been the best fit for him. As of right
So
now,
what So say for instance, it just do not work out with the Clippers. How do
Mhm.
you guys see his career going after this season? Would it
Who
be more
West?
like, yeah, Westbrook,
Mm,
Carmelo
that's gonna
Anthony,
take.
Dwight
That's gonna
Howard.
take
Carmelo?
a major hit to his career, man. It's like,
Like I was thinking about Carmelo Anthony, but at the end, he actually got some clock with the Trailblazers. Like you said, it may go on the route of Dwight Howard,
I believe it's going
I
to be Dwight
say,
Howard, especially if it doesn't work with the Clippers. Like if the Clippers fall off, whew,
which they
I
are.
say Dwight Howard at worst. What John Wall's going through at worst.
Yeah, I think it might get bad for Russ because if Russ had his own team, he would put up a triple double. But I don't think no team is going to allow him to do that.
Yeah,
Just
like
like
which team?
just like Dwight, I believe Dwight could have still gave you 18 and 10 a game, but no team is going to play him 30 minutes a game to do that.
no, they're not. They're both liabilities on the basketball court when it comes to shooting. It's hard
It,
to.
yeah, it is now. That's the thing. Like the game is
Yeah,
just different. I don't think Dwight has fallen off much from 2010. He's about the same player.
he looks like he still has the same
He looks in
abilities.
better shape,
He
Yeah,
does. He
he's
does.
take
but the game has
he's
changed so
taking
much.
he's taking well good of himself. Like when you look at him, like even that last year with the Lakers, I mean, he looked like in awesome shape. Like it
Yeah,
looked
I
like
don't
he
think he
took a
fell off at
page
all,
out
to
of
be honest
LeBron's
with you.
playbook. No,
Yeah, he's in incredible shape. Like athletic wise, he's still basically the same. Yeah, I don't like is the game is past him. He's not able to play in this type of NBA no more for 30 plus minutes a game.
talking about
And
Dwight.
that's what he wants, I think. Yeah, Dwight. I don't think like no team is gonna play him 30 minutes a game.
You think the contract has something to do with it? You think like they won't take like the veteran minimal or something
Nah,
like
nah,
that?
Dwight will. He
Dwight
would
would.
take the veteran
Yeah,
minimum.
Dwight just want to play in the NBA. Like he had to go overseas to play because he wants to play. Dwight feels he's still the same player.
Oh, they give him
No
money
team is.
overseas though. They get money overseas though. They get some good money
Yeah,
over there.
I feel like Dwight with coming into the right team that needs that player. Like I've always said, the perfect position for Dwight would be Dallas because
Yeah, that'd be
Dallas do
good.
not have a big man that's serviceable like him. They don't have. That's where they struggle with their defense down low as well.
That's what they
So
got
it's
Christian
like,
Woods for, but he's not panning out
Well,
to
he's
be
like
that.
a four, but
yeah, he's a
he was
four.
doing good before Kyrie Irving got there. Like he was at like 17-10 before Kyrie got there. Now he's like 10-5. Like he has fallen off a lot.
It's like
But
with
Kyrie's gonna take all the shots from him.
Yeah, and Christian Woods, like he's a good help defender. Like he can block shots, but he comes on the weak side to do it. Like to where Dwight will contest somebody, like coming straight up at you. That's the thing with it. And they got JaVale McGee, but JaVale McGee is
He
not that
barely
player like he
plays.
was. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he barely
he's more
plays too.
so
You can't
like
play
I
those type
feel
of
like
guys, man. You can't put them on the court. You can't put them on
I
the
mean,
court.
that's just like I said. If Patrick Ewing played today, he would not last 15 games running up and down the court, moving side to side because
I think
he
he
would blow
would
out
because
his
he had
knee.
a yeah. I mean, no, I mean, as far as his athleticism or his body being able to handle it, I don't know. That's questionable. But I think because he could shoot, he can be on the court. Patrick had a 15, 20-foot jumper. He could hit that easily. But these guys, that's what it is with these guys. They don't have no jumper, so they have to stay in the paint. And now they're clogging up problems. They're causing problems. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't help. He doesn't help. He doesn't help Luca to put JaVale McGee on the floor. It really
You know,
doesn't.
shooting is part of the game, but if you can't run up and down the court, you're just going to give up layup after layup.
That's true. So you have to be able to run too. Yeah, you do. You do have to be able to get up and down. It is a faster paced game. It is. It's a
Patrick was
different league.
struggling. I'm mad that y'all went to my New York Knicks guy though.
You know, he's one of the top 10 greatest centers of
You
all
ain't lying
time,
though.
but the game is just different that
Yeah, that's
those guys are not able to play today. And, you know, like me personally, I prefer the like older way of playing basketball, not this fast paced way, because it's so many like it's so many opportunities for like guys who can't really, you know, have that fundamental basketball skills to like go up and down the court and just shooting threes and not really doing much else. So slowing the pace, having like a more of a like playoff feel. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah.
the regular season is more of a fast pace. Then when you get into playoffs, it's different. They don't really call as much. That's why James Harden has struggled in the playoffs a lot because he doesn't get those calls. He has to actually work to score the ball more. It wears him out.
I
I should,
I feel
contrary to
like
belief, he balls. Go
I
ahead.
feel like Hakeem and David Robinson would do good in this league though.
Oh, David Robinson would be a beast in
Yeah,
today's NBA.
Both of them would do very well in this league.
yeah, you know, especially K because he's like a quicker, slimmer Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Without the crossover. I'd be
Oh, Hakeem
surprised.
had
Listen, I'd be surprised when I be watching Embiid move sometimes. I'd be like, yo, that's a 7-footer moving like that. Like he's like
Yeah,
a
she plays like just like Anthony Davis, like they play like guards. Like
yeah.
the big men are
well.
guards today. That's why it's so different.
Anthony Davis used to be a point guard at first.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
why he
Yeah.
has that type of skill set because when in high school he was like what 6'3", then he just shot him to 6'10".
hmm
Mm.
Yeah, just like even Kevin Garnett said it was going to be kind of tough for like him just thinking about playing today. He said I feel tired just walking, just watching the guys run up and down the court. Like man, that is a lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
Oh,
feel
because
like he got the lateral quickness to actually hang
yeah,
with
he
these big
can,
men
but
well.
it's completely different from how he played.
Hmm
yeah, it's
It's just
Yeah,
different.
different from how
because
he
it's the
played.
back to the basket, high post, low
Yeah,
post, and you work
yeah.
down low. You're
I
not coming
think
from the you're not coming from the 3 point line like Joel Embiid and just
He didn't
driving
have
with
to.
the
He
little
didn't have to
hezzy and then
cover.
boom.
Today
He
the
ain't had
guys
to do
have to
that.
cover. The guys have to cover literally 30 feet,
so
right? You know,
much.
yeah, they have to cover so much. So before a big man, I had to cover maybe what 15, 20 feet from the rim at max most of the time. But now you really have to cover, and then you have to switch, right? All the switching that goes
That's
on
what
now.
they're doing, switching. Like Utah used to kill people switching on that pick and roll.
That's why it
Yeah,
was
that's
And
hard to
imagine
different.
every team
defend
doing
them.
it with faster players. It's not a like Karl Malone who's just gonna stop and pop. It's somebody like Anthony Davis who's gonna step onto the three, stop and pop, drive to the rim. Like it's a lot that they have to think about. I remember when they was telling Shaq how different it is to play today, and Shaq was like he'll still kill. Like yeah, it's a little bit different when you can't move out, and when you move out, you put your hand up and you get drove straight by. It's just a different game.
It's a different game, definitely. Shaq could stick Duncan. I remember back even with Shaq in his prime when Duncan used to be able to go around Shaq because of his footwork and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So Shaq
Duncan
Shaq
was much quicker. He was
Yeah, that's what
much
I'm
quicker.
saying. But that's what I'm saying. The players now today are definitely much quicker than Shaq. Even though Shaq, I think the Orlando Shaq is different than the Lakers Shaq.
It's
I
a
think
lot
that
different
Big
because he was a
time.
lot slimmer, more athletic, and
yeah, he was
like
more
And
athletic and
faster.
slimmer and faster in Orlando, and we got to he bulked up in he became the Diesel in LA.
Don't
yeah,
say bulked up. He bulked up on food.
you
That's
know,
what he
then
did. He bulked up on
after that,
food.
Shaq could not control himself, so that's why he got so many offensive charges, and that's why he was really couldn't be the same player he was because he couldn't really move no more. He'd just run over people, and everybody just flopped on him. Like
That
if I flop on Shaq 12 times, he's gonna be fouled out.
Mm-hmm.
and that's why
12
Kobe used to
points and
always
fouled
get
out.
pissed off too, because of his work ethic. He would rely
Yeah,
on the season to get him back in shape. It's like,
yeah. Kobe didn't like that. Kobe didn't like that at all.
no.
That's why he didn't like Dwight Howard. He said Dwight Howard. The first thing Dwight Howard asked him when he got traded to the Lakers was about like Hollywood execs and like where to go,
Mhm.
where to go here and there. Like he didn't mention nothing about basketball. And Kobe said, "Oh yeah, this ain't gonna work." Kobe was like, "This ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna
Kobe
work."
said that right
Yeah,
out of his
yeah,
mouth.
it's
I
yeah,
remember
it's
that.
it's hard to actually get along with Kobe. That's why Kobe fit in with the USA players because they all had that same mindset. Like let's try to win. Like we tired of losing. And Kobe's like, all right, let's go ahead and get this goal.
And
And
like
compared to what you say,
I've heard stories with Kobe, like, he wasn't that club type of person. He was
mm,
always a gym rat. But they say, if you ask Kobe to go to the club, he'd be like, all right, but 5 o'clock, we gotta hit that gym. And they agree to it before you know it. He waking you up. He'd be like, hey, let's get to work.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let's
I've
get to
heard
work.
stories about that plenty of times, man.
yeah,
His work
Kobe's a
ethic was
different animal.
amazing. Hmm.
Yeah, I remember hearing a story from like AI. He was going to the club, and Kobe said he's cool. He's about to go to the gym
Hmm.
and work on
Yeah, I
his
seen
game.
that.
And that's why Kobe was just always better than even my like favorite player, Vince Carter. Like I just used to hate when he played Vince Carter because he used to just destroy Vince Carter. Vince, I don't know what he had in his head about Kobe, but he was intimidated by Kobe every time they played because Kobe put in the work and Vince could never get that way.
Like
Yeah,
Vince, I mean, he was a talent. He had the shot, he had the athleticism. And
Vince didn't
I've
work
always
hard till
said,
he wasn't playing no more.
I felt like if he would have put in that work ethic like Kobe, we would have saw a different player, because Vince had the talent. He did.
Yeah, Vince was more talented than most people who ever played. More more athletic than Kobe for sure. Could do everything on the court. But
he was a humbled guy though. I think that's another thing that some people,
Yeah.
Kobe has that arrogance. Kobe had that thing where it was like, you know what, I want to be the best. I think Vince Carter was like, this is what I do. I'm good at it, but I'm not trying to embarrass nobody. Like Kobe would try to embarrass you.
I
Kobe
don't
didn't care.
I don't think it was that wood. I think Vince just didn't work as hard as Kobe.
Yeah.
Vince
That's what I'm
never worked
saying.
as hard as Kobe.
Cause
Because on the
cause
USA
he makes
team,
sense.
right? Because on the USA team, right? Like they all started waking up at 4 in the morning to go work out with Kobe. But the one person who didn't do it was who Carmelo Anthony, right? So Carmelo
Hmm.
Anthony he was like, I'll wake up at 7 or 6, but I'm not waking up at no 4 o'clock in the morning, which I'll do the other workouts. But you can see
No.
that's where the rest of them, like that's where he kind of tailed off, and the rest of them kind of jumped up because they all started working out. I mean, it could be infectious. I mean, Karan Butler said he used to work out with Kobe and do those blackout workouts, but
Mhm.
that didn't make Karan Butler any better of a player. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, every player works out hard. It's just how talented you are and what you're going to work on with your game. Vince probably didn't think he needed to work on as much. So why would he spend extra time in the gym doing something he's already great at? Then when he got later in his career, that's when he started hitting the gym like crazy because he was falling off. But he
mm,
never had that mentality of I'm going to win this game every time I step on the court.
yeah,
Nah.
And I
yeah,
saw that every time he played Kobe Bryant, he played T Mac. Like every time I saw that, even in 2007, Vince Carter had probably his like best year. But when LeBron started torching him in the playoffs, he just went into a shell.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that series, but
Yeah,
that's
he just
that's
went
true
into a shell.
because Kobe, people like Kobe, LeBron. It seemed like every year they like even like Kevin Durant, they come up with like a new move, like they have a new thing that they can do. You can tell like over the summer they worked on their game. They're better at some spot on the floor or something to that effect. And I guess you're right. When you look at Vince Carter's career, you don't see that evolution. He got better at 3-point shooting, but so did everybody else. And most
Yeah,
players get
he
better
was
at shooting.
already a good 3-point shooter. This was good at
Yeah.
everything. He just, when he didn't get the calls, he just started shooting jumpers. That's what it was. He didn't get those superstar calls that he wanted, and he just stopped doing what he was good at, which was going to the hole. Well, all right, guys. This was a first for me, the first show of the Sports Analyst 101, with Johnny and Ralph. So we'll try to be on here every day if possibly, Monday through Friday for a short period of time, just giving everyone updates and everything. So catch you guys tomorrow. All right, you guys got any last words?
Nothing much, nothing much. I'm about to go
Nah,
live on TikTok in an hour, so go have some
you
fun on
going live?
TikTok. Yeah, I'm
You
gonna
gonna
have
go
some fun.
live?
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go live, man. Have some fun. Let's see what we can talk about. See if anybody's interested in what I got to say today.
Hey man, go at it, man.
Yeah, man. Let's have
All
some
right.
fun, man. All right, fellas. Y'all have a good